Come on, BTC.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike. Today is the 1st of July. The 1st of July, we are halfway through the year already. The nights are already starting to draw in where we are. I hope you are all doing well. I hope you all had a great weekend. Lots of people in chat already. Kishan, good morning, Bullish Bull. Peter, Mags, and Chris. I don't know why I say Mags. I know it's not Mags, but you know, it just sticks with me. I hope you're all doing incredibly well. We have a busy show today, as always. So much show, there's actually things that I've missed out of the show today, simply because we will have to cover them on a different day. What we're going to go through today then, well, of course, Bitcoin got a little bit excited last night, just a little bit. Decided to have a breakout and break to the upside. So we're going to have a look at the charts. Obviously, we are going to have a look at some charts today. We're going to have a look at Bitcoin. We're going to have a look at probably ETH and probably Solana because of what happened I was going to look at some minor coins, but we'll give them a pass. What we're going to do today is we're going to go through the week ahead. It's a big week. There's always big weeks in crypto. We're going to go through the big week ahead. We're going to go through $67,000, please. Are we going to get there? We're going to go through Goland. What is Goland? Gold and Poland. Polish are buying gold. Why? We'll have a look at that. And this is the headline of the day, and that's buttering the money. How much do you think that Vitalik is worth? We're going to tell you. We're going to go through Marathon Mining. We kind of mentioned it on Friday or Saturday, but we've got some information about it now to tell you. And I was very negative on runes. So to try and give you a fair balance, I have found an article on why runes may not be too bad. So that is what is on the show today. Remember to smash the like button. Remember to subscribe if you are not subscribed. Bottom left-hand corner, can you believe it? 142,500 fans already. We are aiming for 200,000, so please subscribe. It doesn't cost you a penny. Bottom right-hand corner, we are going to go for $74,000 if it is the death of me. That's not going to change. That is where we are still aiming for. And the poll of the day, can we break $64,000 and get above the bull market support band? That's the question of the day. And when we look at the Bitcoin chart, we will tell you what we think. But first of all, let's go to the markets and have a look. Market cap is up a nice healthy 2.33 trillion. Remember, my target for this bull run is to get somewhere between, I would say, 8 and 10 trillion. So conservatively, let's call that a 4x from where we are now. That would put Bitcoin, believe it or not, north of $200,000. Ethereum from where we are now would be north of about $15,000. So you've got an idea of where I think we're going to go, 8 to 10 trillion. I've not said that for a while, so just kind of give you an idea of what we have in my head. Weekend volume is always going to be fairly low, so we can pretty much ignore that. Bitcoin dominance, 53.5%. ETH, 18%. Again, we're still at 72% for ETH and Bitcoin. And given the fact that we are going to get the Ethereum ETF any day now, I don't think that's going to change. Bitcoin then just under 63,000, Ethereum just under 3,500, BNB $585. It's having a cup of tea and a nap after its recent pumps. Solana is coming back towards $150. I said on Saturday, if I had $1,000 to put into crypto in one coin for the rest of the bull run, what would it be? Would it be Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Solana? My bet would be Solana. Not because I don't think Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to go up, but I think Solana just has a bit more juice in the tank. We've already got the Bitcoin ETF. We're about to get the Ethereum ETF. Look at the prices and look at where Solana is going to go. And look who is in the crowd today. Gray from Fortune Favors the Brave. If you've no idea what I'm talking about, I reviewed a really cool Chronos project over the weekend. Fortune Favors the Brave. Make sure to go and check out their project and watch that video and go and say hello to them on their Discord and Telegram groups and get involved. We cover Solana, a lot of Solana projects. We've done Pool Party this weekend as well, and we covered Fortune Favors the Brave. So we are going to start covering Chronos projects. Don't sleep on the Chronos chain. They have 100 million users potentially, so don't sleep on it. Mark my words, it is not going to be at that market cap forever. So what has gained and what has lost in the last 24 hours? Well, Ethereum name service is up 22%, not surprising. Dog with Hat has come up 10%. Beam, Bittenza, Bonk is up. Immutable X, some gainers. Multiverse, not too bad really. Losers, again, one loser, Casper. I said this, if you remember, on Saturday. We'll go through that when we go through the article. Casper is going to come under an awful lot of sell pressure, probably for the next 3 or 4 months minimum. So, yeah, I wouldn't be buying Casper right now. Audi is down a touch. I mean, negligible losses for me. Now, I got told off in the comments about the Saturday stream because apparently I was coughing too much. So just to make it clear, I did that Saturday stream with no water, no coffee, and at half an hour's notice. I was coughing because I was dry. This morning, I am fully lubed up on caffeine and I am ready to go. This is traditionally a more bullish month than June. There's a few months I think I mentioned. I think I said September on the stream. I think it's October. It's one of the two. July isn't too bad. Now, I thought I would start with this. Name one thing that crypto taught me. And I'm not going to go with anything philosophical. I'm not going to go with anything, to do with Vitalik or Bitcoin or anything like that. I'm going to go with the entire monetary system of the world and modern society is completely broken. That's what crypto taught me. That's on the very highest level. I mean, we can go and talk about tinfoil hat conspiracies, but we're not going to do that today. It taught me that the money in your pocket loses value because banks print it out of existence. It tells me that the only reason they tax you is to stop you from making inflation go so high. So lots of things to do with the macro environment, really. That's what I think crypto taught me more than anything else. I don't really care about charts so much or prices or things like that. But the one thing, if crypto ended tomorrow, it would leave me with the fact that nothing works properly. Now, Kevin, last night, pointed out the fact that the bears are losing momentum. Remember, nothing goes up or down forever. We've talked about this. We are not going to go on a parabolic run to $250,000 without corrections along the way. Maybe 5 or 6 or 7 corrections. Bitcoin only goes up for a very relatively short period of time. The rest of the time it's going sideways and down as the RSI cools off and the bulls recover the strength. The bears also get exhausted. Remember, bears and bulls are the same people. They chase liquidity, they chase liquidations. At some point, this was going to happen. Now, the question is it a relief rally? Is it a dead cat bounce? We're going to have a look at the chart in a minute and tell you. Now, Ethereum ETF likely to be approved in July. This is stating the bleeding obvious, whale FUD. We know it's going to be approved in July because every Tom, Dick and Harry is saying it's going to be approved in July. My target was, of course, the 4th of July. We are on the 1st of July. It's not going to happen. But mark my words, it is. If I'm wrong by a few days. I am not wrong by months. I just need to very quickly fix the U in July. There we go. So yes, we know it's going to come in July, and that is why I am bullish for July, which is the theme of the show today, bully for July. Irrespective of people saying we're going to $45,000 and $50,000, we may very well, but it's not going to happen in July, in my opinion. We are going to have a leg up and then potentially be rejected and then come down to lows. I don't think an ETF go live for Ethereum and a Solana application and approval, which is likely to happen in July and August, I don't think any of that is news enough to bring us down. Interest rates coming down, why would that drop the price of Bitcoin? The DXY, the Dixie, which I can't cover today because I don't have enough time, we might cover that tomorrow. The Dixie has formed a top and is coming down. When the dollar weakens, what happens to Bitcoin? It goes up. So where are we going to get the bad news from? The only thing left is a black swan, and nobody in the world can predict a black swan because by its very essence, that is a black swan. So for me, without a black swan, I don't see under $50,000. I think we're going to struggle to get below 60, but I've been wrong before and I will be wrong again. Now moving on then. Book of Meme, sorry. Boom, are launching a physical book. I talk about this a lot because Dark Fams is fairly well known online and he produces all of these various memes that you see that look a lot like this. Now, I'm not shilling the book. I'm not even telling you about the book. But what I think is that you would be foolish not to look at Bohm. Why? Because he sells his artwork, his unique one-of-ones, he sells them for Bohm, and then he burns the Bohm. So over a long period of time, he is destroying the circulating supply of Bohm. And that we don't want inflationary coins, we want deflationary coins. And he's not burning $5 and $10 here or there. He's burning hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. So what do you think is going to happen? That price of that coin is going to go up. It's associated with a really cool way of working, and I really like it, and I'm not a fan. I think I hold, hand on heart, I think I hold about $40, $50 of Bohm, and I bought that way back when I told you guys about it. And one other meme coin that I'm going to mention, because if I don't, I'm going to look like I am anti-Tate or something like that, which I'm not. Andrew Tate has got involved with this meme coin called Daddy. Now, Daddy is a reaction to Mummy, and Mummy is, of course, Iggy Azalea's coin. So Iggy Azalea has a coin, and now Andrew Tate has got Daddy, and what he's going to try and do is burn the supply of Daddy, and he's going to give it utility. He's going to allow you to use it for various different things. Now, much as you don't like him for driving fast cars and smoking cigars and being whatever he is a brilliant marketeer. And much as you don't bet against the Fed, don't bet against people like Andrew Tate. He has, I mean, I don't even know how many people follow him. He's got 9.5 million followers. If you think he isn't going to know what's going to happen with this coin, he's already planned it out. So the two tips to look at meme coin wise, Daddy and Bohm. I don't hold hardly any of either of them, so I am not telling you this to shill you my bags. That's not the case. I might hold $20, $30, $40 of these coins. Now, a few comments. Peter, what do I think of the bull run? Will it be high at the end of December, then will it cool off in April? Honk is the best meme for a 15x chance. I think there's a lot of coins that will 15x, but you've got to pick a low enough market cap. I'm hearing, and again, I can't mention names, but it's frustrating. I'm hearing crypto influencers telling you that there are meme coins that are going to go to $100 billion, and not Doge and not SHIB. I'm not going to tell you what coins they're talking about, and I'm not going to mention their name, but it is massively irresponsible, and it's very difficult not to swear when I talk about these people, because I think that their morals are in the gutter. Now, if you want a 15x on a meme coin, you can look at anything under, in my opinion, of course it's only my opinion, anything under 2 billion, so 1.5 billion. Could that do a 15x? Well, let's look at history. What did SHIB do? SHIB went to 36 billion from relatively nowhere. That easily did a 30x. I've said time and time again, we're going to go from 2 meme coins to maybe 4 or 5 meme coins at the end of this bull run. So there is room for 3 more 8 to 10 to $15 billion meme coins, because as the market expands, so does the growth in everything. You know, if you're a village and you've got 1 coffee shop and you survive, and then somebody builds 16 tower blocks in your village, suddenly you can afford to have 5 coffee shops in your village because the demand is there. And that's what happens in crypto. At a $2.5 billion market cap, we can sustain 2 meme coins. At an 8 billion, 10 billion, 20 billion, trillion, market cap of crypto, we can sustain 4, 5, 6 meme coins. It's just how it works. So it's picking those. Now, I can't say that Honk is going to be one of them, but I think it's got a good chance. I think Bohm has a good chance. I think Bonk has a good chance. Even Dog with Hat, but you've got to remember with Dog with Hat, it's already over 2 billion. So look at something like Wen or something like that. There is a chance it can happen. And do I think the bull run? I think we could have a top. I think you missed the show where I answered that question. I think we could top out when the the miners stop capitulating. So what's happening at the minute? All the miners are selling money. All the miners are selling Bitcoin, sorry, because they can't afford to survive. So they're selling all their Bitcoin. What does that do? It causes the price to be suppressed. We've seen it. They've been capitulating since it happened. Now, traditionally, and I can't guarantee this, it takes 6 months to flush out all of that excess supply. So from April the 20th, May, June, July, August, September, October 20th will be roughly the period of time where the miners stop suppressing the market. By that point, we will have the Ethereum ETF. We will potentially have a Solana ETF approved. We will have miners with no Bitcoin left to sell. We are losing 100,000 Bitcoin a month off exchanges. At some point, the price has to crack. Now, that can, and also we're going to have interest rates and all the things I mentioned at the beginning. So at some point, it's going to break and the price is going to rip up. Now, if Bitcoin goes to $85,000, there will be massive profit taking by most people. Why? We've gone from roughly 15,000, 17,000 to, let's call it 85,000 in the space of 18 months. That's a 6x on Bitcoin. There will be profit taking. That profit taking will replace the excess supply from the miners and everybody else. So I think we will start January 2025 with a damp squid. I think maybe we top out at 85, 95, 90,000, something like that, November, December, and then I think we could come down to somewhere in the region of 75 again, because that's our previous top, recent top. And then next year we go on another run. There's a lot of things that are going to happen that nobody's paying attention to. And the most important one for me, irrespective of everything else, is the supply. The supply on exchanges is disappearing, and it's not going to happen today or tomorrow, but in 18 months' time, we're going to have less than 1 million, potentially less than 1 million Bitcoin on exchanges in a year's time. Think about that. Less than 1 million Bitcoin across all of those exchanges. When do we get to the point when exchanges run out of Bitcoin? We probably never will. But what has to happen to stop that never will from happening? The price of Bitcoin has to go up. What price is going to separate you from your Bitcoin? What price are you going to sell your Bitcoin at? If somebody said to me today, would you sell all of your Bitcoin for $250,000 each? I would probably say no. So that's where my line in the sand is. Would I sell each of them for $500,000? Yes. But we're not going to go to $500,000 in this bull run. I think we're very unlikely we get anywhere near it. So, Ethereum, 15, 20, what's it going to go to? Where are you going to be bought? Where are they going to buy it off you? That's the point at which the exchanges stop running out of Bitcoin. And that is the key. I'm going off on a massive rant. Maybe there will be 3 peaks. I think there's going to be a couple of peaks, and I think they will be. I think they'll be driven by different macro events. I think, given what's happened in that debate, I think it's absolutely cast iron that a certain orange man is going to win. That's February. That's going to be one blow-off top for me. I think having a new head of the SEC is going to be a new blow. I think having interest rates coming down is going to be a new blow. And it's like, if we have a bonfire and we put all the wood on the bonfire today, guess what's going to happen? We're going to run out of fuel by the end of the year. We're going to run out of fuel, and by next September, October, we're going to have nothing left. So what you want to do is you want to keep adding fuel to the fire. And that fuel are all of these positive things that are going to happen over the next 12 months. These people telling me that the end of the bull run is December. How is it December? How is it going to be December when every single cycle since time immemorial for Bitcoin has taken 12 to 18 months? The earliest, in my opinion, is April. That's the earliest. That's a year. But I still don't think it's going to be April. I still think it's going to be October, November next year. And I'm going to stand by that. I will change my opinion, of course, over time. But there you go. Now then. So, very critical week ahead. It's always a critical week ahead in crypto. But lots of things are happening in crypto. Today, ASI is merging. ASI is the big coin for me. If I had to pick two AI coins for the bull run, it would be ASI and NEAR. There are plenty of other amazing AI projects, but they're the two I'm holding for the bull run. Tuesday, the CPI comes in for the Eurozone, and Powell will speak on Tuesday. Now then, we're going to get onto the chart in a minute, but I think we need to be very careful that people are not setting a trap. And by people, I mean the money makers. Are they setting a trap to make you go long to dump on the news from Chairman Powell? Maybe. Wednesday, we've got the non-farm employment data. We want that to be going up. Down. We want lower inflation. We want less houses being sold. We want more people going out of work. That's what we want. When I say we, I mean Chairman Powell. So that's on Wednesday. Nothing on Thursday, so we're going to have Thursday off. Friday, voting for min-maxing reward distribution from min-market. That isn't that important. Unemployment rate, very important. Friday could be a good day. And the monetary policy report at 6 p.m. on Friday. All of that is exciting. Remember, every week is the most important week in crypto. That's what you have to bear in mind. Nobody will tell you that there is a quiet week in crypto, because when there is a quiet week, what's that saying? When there's nothing left to be said, some idiot always goes and says it. I think that's the saying. I think the way I would look at it, Peter, is imagine you've got a footballer who's 16 years of age and he's just come through the ranks at Barcelona, and he's a little kid and he's untried, he's untested, and he's worth nothing. He's worth maybe €1 million. And then he starts to play for the Barcelona first team and he scores a hat-trick, then another hat-trick, then another hat-trick, and he finishes the season on 60 goals. How much is the perceived value of that footballer? $200 million? €250 million? A lot of money. These projects that are going live fall into two categories. They fall into speculation and potential, and they're the ones that I think it's getting to the time where we should avoid them, and ones that can deliver in the bull run, like Chainlink. You're buying into potential. If you think that there are 8 billion people in the world and you've got a project which can solve a problem for 3 billion people, and it's going to cost 50 cents, 60 cents a year to solve that problem for people, you work out the revenue that can generate. That's why some of these projects go from $1 million to $100 million. And what you're seeing is what VCs have been seeing for the last 50 years. A venture capital company will be sold shares in Revolut at 10p a share, and they will sell those shares for £5. So what they've made on that, 50x profit. That's how the world has worked. Unfortunately, we haven't had access to that world. We are not given access to that world because VCs keep it to themselves. Whereas crypto democratizes everything to do with that. So if a company wants to raise $10 million, they can go to 3 VC firms and raise $3.5 million off each of them. That's how it used to work. Now they go onto crypto, they do a token sale, they sell $10 million worth of tokens, and you've got a slice of the pie rather than the VC. That's how it's worked. And I've had people coming in with VC deals for me years ago, obviously not now, and they were all the same. You buy it a penny and it'll go to 20p. It's just the way it works. Now, Bitcoin, as we know, has come back up to 63,000. We need to be careful we don't overrun today because we haven't really got that far through the show. So Crypto Nuevo identifies two liquidity areas, 62.5 and 63.5 in the short term, 67 in the midterm. These are liquidation targets that crypto whales usually look for when the squeezes. Now, I'm going to try and explain this chart very, very easily. The brighter the colour, the more liquidity is there for these whales. So there is a big chunk in the middle. You can't see my mouse, but there's a big chunk in the middle. That's at 63,500. I think we got 63,500 and came back down. So they've gone after a lot of liquidity. They've found it. Where else is it? It's underneath. I can't read it. I think it's just above $60,000. But you can see where the majority of the money is, and it's right there, and we came right to it. Now then, this is what he thinks is going to happen. He thinks we're going to hit 64,000, come down to 59, and then shoot up. What is so spectacular about that? Well, funnily enough, if you were in our Telegram group, that is pretty much what I said to, I don't know if it was Reza was in chat today. Let's go and look at the chart. This is what I think is going to happen. And he said pretty much the same thing. My line for Bitcoin is now $60,000 because we've held it so well. Let's get rid of that. I need that open. So we're coming in at 62.9. What is important about 62.9? Well, let me show you. Those little white lines, not lies, lines, show you where we have found support. Now, the bull market support band has now moved up. It was 64,000 and we're going to keep it there for now. The bottom, in fact we can move the bottom up just to show you. The bottom of the bull market support band is coming in at 61.4. The top, for argument's sake, is 64,000. So what do I think could happen for Bitcoin? I think we need to break this line here at 64,000. And we need to break it and come up and then come back down. We then need to bounce and then we go up. That is what we need to do. So that gets the tick. I think that's likely to happen. If it doesn't, and remember, I don't have a crystal ball and I'm not called Mystic Meg, is we could come up to the top of the bull market support band, get rejected, and then shoot straight back down to that level there, which is about 60,000. That is not what we want. So the key is getting above 64 and a bit. That's the key for me. Good morning, Solo Sky. Welcome to the stream. One more coin in the top 15 to add. Have you got Chainlink? That would be my question. If you don't have Chainlink, you need to hold Chainlink. If you don't have Ondo, you need to hold Ondo. If you have Chainlink, then what I would do is drop me an email and I will let you know. So that is where we are. We are at the point where we need to get above 64,000. And at 64,000 and hold, then we will go straight back up towards this level here, which is about, let me put, you know what, we'll get rid of that line. We're not going to use that anymore, are we? I think we need to come up to about that level there. We've got a volume area. The next volume area up after that is in the 70s. We're not going to get there yet. So 67,500 is where we need to get to. But we have to break 64 first and then hold it. If we do not, we will come straight back down. Look, at every time we have hit major resistance, we came down. We hit it there again. We came down. We have a habit of not breaking the ice, getting rejected, and then sinking a little bit. So this is a key area. This is a key area for me. And I can't see how we get out of that. Now, we're going to move on because we have a show and we have half an hour to do 4 articles without me ranting. I think Saturday was quite a ranty show. Some people will have to tell me if we were or we weren't. So people in Poland are rushing to buy gold amid geopolitical tensions. AP report, what has this got to do with crypto? I'm going to tell you in a minute. So when we had the pandemic, the Poles went to go and buy gold. And then when the other things started 2 years ago, people went to buy gold. Now, why do you buy gold? It's an inflation hedge. It's an inflation hedge, and it's been an inflation hedge since before anything. It was the form of currency. It's been admired for centuries. Gold is always the inflation hedge. And irrespective of what we think about Bitcoin, gold, unfortunately, for the foreseeable future, is going to be the one asset you hold to keep the value of your money. Remember, holding gold is not about making wealth, it's about retaining wealth. So as inflation goes up, as there are conflicts and pandemics and all of these things, gold locks the value of your wealth and keeps you from seeing the downward momentum of stocks and shares and bonds and all that thing. Also, it takes it out of currency. So let's say that the dollar tomorrow gets debased and suddenly everything is now 90% less value in your pocket. So your $100 in your pocket has a purchasing power of $10. The price of gold would go up roughly 9x, 10x to counteract that. If you look at countries around the world where their currencies are being destroyed, gold is what you hold to maintain your wealth. Why do so many upper class people have things made out of gold? Because the value of the gold, inherently, it might look pretty, but it's the value of the gold. So the Poles aren't stupid and they are off to buy their gold. Now, why is this important? Well, imagine a dystopian future where a government seizes your gold. Do you think that's something out of Hand Wives' Tale or whatever it was called? Or do you think that the Americans did that 60, 70 years ago? Because that's what they certainly did. So my issue with gold is not so much it being an inflation hedge, but the fact that we could end up in a situation where somebody could come to your house and seize your gold. It's a physical item. If you had £100,000 or dollars worth of gold, where do you store it? Do you store it in a bank? It's seizable. Do you store it in your broker's fund? It's seizable. Storing gold in any way other than physically holding it yourself means that you don't have control over it. This is the fundamental flaw with gold. It's all well and good thinking, no one's ever going to come to my house and no one's ever going to make me do this. Let me remind you what happened 2 years ago when they stopped you leaving your house. They stopped you going to supermarkets. I'm not going to go into that. I'm just saying they have the ability to control you and physically take your things. This is the fundamental flaw of gold. However, gold is still the wealth maintainer. In the future, you might want to consider having something which cannot be taken from your property. That is all I'm saying, and that would be a digital version of gold. So I'm not saying don't hold gold. Of course you should hold gold. If you live in a stable government, in a stable country, you're never going to have to worry about this. But even places like Australia and New Zealand, they were put under massively draconian, not sentencing, that's not the right word, rules, and it became a dictatorship, and it happened in 6 months. Don't think it can't happen. And I'm not sounding like a doomsday prepper or one of these people you watch online that buries 50,000 tins of beans in his garden. I'm just saying, be prepared. Nobody thought we would ever get to the situation where you couldn't leave your house, did we? Anyway, let's move on then to somebody who is incredibly rich. And that is a certain Vitalik Buterin. How much do you think Vitalik is worth? Put your estimations into chat now on how much you think Vitalik is worth. I'm going to give you 20 seconds while I pour myself some more coffee for you to tell me in chat how much you think Vitalik is worth. And put it this way, he can buy an awful lot of Pikachu stuff for the amount of money he is worth. Drop Dead has put 2 billion. Thank you for the reply. 2 billion. Not far off, actually. Quite a good guess. Vitalik Buterin's net worth deciphered by updated Arkham intelligence report. Remember another thing. Anybody that tells you that crypto is used by nefarious people to do nefarious things, everything's online. Everything is traced. It's a public ledger. It's literally like walking in to a bank without a mask on, your ID on your shirt, and telling them you're going to take all of the money back to your house. That's what it's like doing it on a public blockchain. So it's safer and more secure than private ledgers, such as the ones used by banks. And Vitalik can't hide. Look at him, that beautiful human being. He actually looks really healthy in that picture. So then, he is worth $833 million. This stems from his role as the co-founder of Ethereum, where he received a significant allocation during its launch in 2015. At its peak in 2021, he was in the billionaire status. Now, he's obviously sold a lot since, and he's donated some to charity. Don't think he has been stingy. He hasn't. He's donated to charity. So he currently holds 245,000 ETH, $831 million. Now, I'm going to tell you that Ethereum is likely to do, let's call it a 4x, for argument's sake. That would put his net worth at over $3 billion. There you go. However, I think he is going to be worth considerably more than $3 billion by 2030 and 2035. I think he's going to get double-digit billions by that period of time. I don't think Ethereum is going anywhere. At this point in time, with the connections to BlackRock and traditional finance, I really don't think Ethereum is going to go anywhere. I think it's finished as far as being able to compete with Solana for what Solana wants to be able to do. It doesn't stand a chance. But for what traditional finance want to use, Ethereum is the key. Remember, this wasn't a fly-by-night decision to use Ethereum. They've been planning this for 4 years. All of the coins that they tested making themselves were all based on ERC standards. So Ethereum isn't going to go anywhere. It will lose a lot of its market share for retail to Solana over the coming months. AVAX is coming up on the outside as well, don't forget, and all the layer 2s. I'm not including them. I'm speaking specifically about Ethereum being the top dog. It will probably always have one of the highest TVLs, always make one of the largest amounts of money, and holding Ethereum is going to make you incredibly rich. But it's not all things to all men. The layer 2s allow it to be. Now, so Vitalik is probably going to be worth 5 to 10 billion in the next 6 or 7 years. Not bad, really. So the net worth of almost $1 billion should be considered a conservative figure. The existence of undisclosed holdings and potential non-crypto assets could push the actual number higher. Now, if I was a taxman, I would be going and knocking on Vitalik's door, and I would be asking him how much he's worth, because he really needs to declare how much he is worth at the end of the day. He can't keep it private. We know how much Elon Musk is worth because we know how many shares he's got in Tesla. We know the rough valuation of X. So traditional people, we know how much they are worth. Vitalik can't go hiding his Ethereum left, right, and center. Now then, let us have a quick look then at Ethereum while we are here. Need to actually drag the fib levels across later on. So what has happened is we came down as we did over here, and we have bounced off the bull market support band. What does that mean for Ethereum? Well, you work it out. We came up way too far. I mean, look at the gap. Look at that gap. Look at that gap. What happens when you leave the bull market support band? You retrace to it. You retrace to it and you come to it. Then what is the level of confidence to hold it? That's the next question. Well, we have held it a lot better than Bitcoin. What is the next move for Ethereum? This is the next move for Ethereum. We can cut to the chase. The Ethereum ETF is going to happen. We're going to go to $4,000. The question I asked on Saturday is Grayscale, Ethereum, going to dump the market the same way that Bitcoin dumped the market that when Grayscale converted and sold? I don't know, because I don't know whether there's a premium or a discount on Ethereum. That's my honest answer. But I do think we're going to get a God candle, and then we're going to do one or two things. We are going to come up, have a party up here. Grayscale doesn't sell, and we go up here and we smash through 4,400 previous all-time highs, and there is my target. Let's move my target over here a little bit. That would be my target for Ethereum, nearly $5,000 in a good wind. If Grayscale dumps on us like it did, then we will get suppressed, and maybe we start to come down, and maybe 4,000 becomes the new 3,000. That is also a possibility, but still short term, very bullish on Ethereum. If you're looking to buy something now with potential of 40% upside, then Ethereum would be the one for me. If you're looking to buy some solid bets without gambling, without putting your money in the hands of the house, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, those three for me are the safest bets right now. Not saying they're the safest bets long term, safest bets right now. We're doing incredibly well for time. Play this map. No idea what that map is. No idea at all. Right, but let's get on with the next article. We are still fairly good on time. Now, this is what I was talking about on Friday or Saturday. The miners are having a hard time. A very hard time. Now, remember, let's put two and two together. And I did forewarn you on this. I did forewarn you. I did say this was likely to happen. So, the biggest loser over the last 24 hours is Casper. It's down 7%. Marathon Digital mines $15 million in Casper tokens for revenue diversification. What do you think Marathon Digital are doing with their Casper? Do you think they are sending it to their ledger, or do you think they're dumping it on the market? What do you think? I think they are mining Casper to dump it. And that's what happens with miners. If you've ever used NiceHash or any of the ones I used to use where you could mine tokens, it would pick the most profitable coin to mine. That at the minute is Casper. What will happen then is the price of Casper will come down to make it the second or third most profitable coin to mine, and then the miners will switch to the next one, which could be anything on the list. So be careful holding Casper. That is all I'm saying. Marathon isn't a small company. They are huge. They are a global crypto-focused platform. Announced its mining operations for Casper has yielded $15 million worth of Casper since they commenced last September. The decision to mine Casper was part of its strategy to diversify its mining operations. Why would they do that? Because Bitcoin becomes unprofitable for a period of about 6 months after the halving, April the 20th, October the 20th, they don't make any money. Price has to go up. That's where we see price appreciation in Bitcoin, because it has to get to the point where it becomes profitable for miners. The company highlighted that Casper is currently the 5th largest proof of work crypto asset, market cap of 3.9 billion, trading volumes of 65 million. The blockchain supply is 24 billion CAS. Now, my issue is with this. Over time, this is going to go down in value. CAS is going to go down in value. The same way Dogecoin They are being mined to infinity. Why did we make Bitcoin? It was a fixed supply to replace the issue of debasement. The US dollar, there is no maximum supply. It can be printed tomorrow. They could print 100% of all the dollars that have ever existed. They can print it all tomorrow. If you're going to replace one broken system, you're not going to replace it with another broken system. And for me, an unlimited supply of a token means one thing. If you buy it today, over the next 100 years, it will go to zero because it is being mined to non-existence. But Casper is still profitable for now, and people mining Casper will still make money. But why would you hold it? That's the key. So in the statement, they mentioned that they began looking into Casper in May last year, almost a year ago. By mining Casper, we are able to create a stream of revenue that's diversified from Bitcoin, and that is directly tied to our core competencies in digital asset compute. After the massive price decline in Bitcoin starting in 2022, miners began looking for ways to diversify the revenue. Some chose to use their infrastructure for AI and computing needs, while others opted to mine other cryptos. So there you have it. That's a big red no from me on Casper. I certainly wouldn't buy it. Casper on YouTube, they're saying that it will do a 100x. What a bunch of lies. Again, why would they tell you it's going to do 100x? I'll tell you why it will do 100x. It will do 100x because it will pump their bags. If a shillfluencer, is telling you that a coin is going to go to $1, let's pick a hypothetical coin called Shillcoin. It's going to go to $1. Buy it. It's at 5 cents. It's going to do a 20x. It's going to go to $1. We're all going to be rich. You'll go and buy it, and you'll hold it. And if enough people buy it and hold it, two things happen. The price goes up, the supply on exchanges goes down, the bags get pumped. What do you think Mr. or Miss Shillfluencer are going to do? They'll probably sell about 80 cents. Then the price might top out at 85 cents and then come back down. Then the Shillfluencer will buy it back at, say, 30 cents and come back on and tell you, guess what, guys? Massive. It got to 80 cents. It's at 30 cents. We're looking at least a 3x from here. Buy, 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 buy. You will then run in and pump it maybe to 90 cents. And guess what? He will still sell at 80 cents. And he will take your money and separate you from your wealth, and he will make the bags. And that is how they all work. And if you don't believe me, go and have a look for yourselves, because that's what they do. While they are telling you it is a hard buy, they are dumping on you. Because when you're buying, who do you think you're buying off? You're buying off the Shillfluencers. That's the problem. What do I think about ENS? So that's Ethereum name service. I think any layer 2, any service connected to Ethereum, and that includes the DEXs, that includes the layer 2s, that includes everything to do with Ethereum, is going to pump when the Ethereum ETF goes live. And I think it's a good project. Now, what I would be careful of is I would never buy a coin after a 22.5% pump. So that's what I would be very careful of, because those prices tend to come down, and that's when you can pick them. In my humble opinion, not necessarily financial advice. So ENS will go up over time. It's got a relatively small market cap of $1 billion. It will go up over time. Casper over the short term is still bullish, but long term not so good. I'd say so, drop dead. Yeah, I think over the long term, I wouldn't be holding a coin of that nature the same way that I don't hold Dogecoin, because it's getting printed into infinity. What will change for Doge is when Elon Musk tells them to switch from proof of work to proof of stake, which is going to happen potentially, and then put a max supply on Doge, and then introduce a burn mechanism, and then Doge will hold its value and go up a lot more. None of that is confirmed. Don't buy it on that advice. That's what Elon Musk and the founder, is he called Fink or Friend, something like that? Marcus, something like that? That's what they've been talking about to do with Doge. I'll have a look at Convex at the end. Yeah, I think we are going to have time. It's only 11:50. Right then, so hopefully that answers some of your questions. Now, the last one, and I try and be fair on here, and I'm not a fan of runes or ordinals or anything like that that sits on top of Bitcoin, because I don't think that's where the value is. Now, having said that, I am not always right, believe it or not. I am not always right. There's only one person in Crypto Warehouse that is always right, and that, of course, is the Oracle. The Oracle himself speaks to the charts, and he knows what's going to happen. I sadly do not. I just give you my opinion. Tokens on the Runes protocol are down from their peak, but don't count them out yet. The protocol is less than 3 months old, and it's just getting started. Again, I'm going to give you their opinion, and I'm not going to give you my opinion until the end. So block 840,000 mined on April the 19th was special for Bitcoin. In addition to marking the fourth halving of the world's largest blockchain, it signaled the launch of the Runes protocol, currently the most popular for creating fungible tokens on Bitcoin. Whilst token creation is common on blockchains such as Ethereum or Solana, this practice is new for Bitcoin, only becoming popular in 2023. Tokens on the Runes protocol launched in April are even more recent. Over the last 15 years, traditional media declared Bitcoin dead numerous times. I think it's died 9,000 times, hasn't it? Something ridiculous. It's never going to die. Similarly, tokens created on the Runes protocol are already considered dead by some critics. Well, I would put myself into that category. Absolutely. However, let's move down a little bit. The first thing to consider is macro context. Since the Runes launched, Bitcoin has remained in a channel between $60,000 and $70,000. During this period, its dominance over the crypto market has risen, I believe. Let's have a look. How long is this article? I haven't read this one. This is fairly long. I'm not going to read all of this. So this is the one that lots of people are buying on X, if that's any clue to you, and it's called Dog Go to the Moon. And lots of people have been buying this, and it is available. I think you can buy them on exchanges. However, they're also available on things like Magic Eden. Not a sponsored comment, that I'm just telling you. Market caps are very reasonable on these things. That one's coming in at 600 million. I did cover this in the first bit. But since asset issuance within Bitcoin began to become popular, the infrastructure to engage has been a significant friction. It basically stops the blockchain from working. That's one of the issues that I've got with ordinals and runes, is that it takes up all the space on the blocks. People have to pay through the nose to transact. Of course, you can use the Lightning Network, but some people send transactions on Bitcoin. So they're not good in the short term for Bitcoin. If they become popular, it's going to grind Bitcoin to a halt. So it's in Bitcoin's interest for these things to fail. That's my take on this. However, degens, go and play. Happy days. Go and enjoy your runes. They are meme coins on Bitcoin. Go and enjoy it. I'm not going to say too much negativity about it. In addition to native players and on-chain development, centralized exchanges are gradually embracing Rune standard assets. These listings is the DOG token, which we've already covered. It's listed on some of the exchanges we won't mention the names of. It's worth reinforcing that the Runes protocol is less than 3 months old, and listing Runes tokens on an exchange requires that exchange to update its infrastructure. That is why small exchanges have moved the most quickly, and large exchanges will follow. So again, my takeaway is very simple. If you are new to crypto and you can get access to these on a centralized exchange, treat them like a meme coin. That's what I would do. Treat them like a meme coin. I said that Brett was going to fall in price, and that was based on the charts. It peaked and it was going to come back down again. Bitcoin has run up $2,000 now in the last 12 hours. Everything floats on a rising tide. Everything, even garbage tokens, float on a rising tide. And that's what happens. Remember, Bitcoin is over half the market cap of crypto. So when Bitcoin pumps, so do the alts, even the bad ones. That's how hard it is to actually nail every trade every time. So, will runes go up in value over time? Yes. Inherently, they are connected to Bitcoin. So as the gentleman in the chat asked before, what do I think of Ethereum name service? If Ethereum goes up, everything associated with Ethereum will go up. Therefore, if Bitcoin goes up, everything associated with Bitcoin will go up, including stacks. Probably Zeus will go up, the Solana Bitcoin thing going over there. So you have to bear that in mind. If an asset appreciates 200 or 300%, all associated assets will appreciate probably more, probably above the value of the underlying asset. If Solana goes up to $1,000 in this bull run and does a 7x in this bull run, Jupiter is potentially going to do a 15x because it's the main player on Solana and it has a smaller market cap, so it can move more. So when people buy into Ethereum, they also buy into the ecosystem, the same with Bitcoin. So, for argument's sake, if Bitcoin goes on and does a 4x from here, do I think runes could do a 10x from here? Absolutely. Does that mean I'm going to buy them? No, it doesn't. I'm not going to buy them. I'm just giving you a kind of overall opinion of how the markets play, and they're not logical. That's another thing to bear in mind. That's why I keep telling you until I'm blue in the face, ASI token is going to do incredibly well when retail comes along because it stands for Artificial Super Intelligence, ASI. They are going to read in the media about AI. They're going to read Elon Musk talking about it. They're going to open up their exchange on their mobile phone and they're going to go click and buy ASI for no other reason, with no research, just blindly buy it. They're going to go and see MAGA, Trump coin. Guess what? They're going to blindly buy that token as well because they've heard of it. They've heard of Ethereum, they've heard of Bitcoin. I know how it sounds, but that's how dumb money is. Dumb money is dumb money. Or is it stupid does as stupid does? I can't remember the expression now. So just bear in mind that this is how it works. Now, is it CVX coin? I think it is that one. Is it not? I think this is the right coin. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I drew a line there and it came into the line. Right, what would I say about Convix? Let's just check chat one more time. I've changed position. No man is right 100%. I'm certainly not right 100%. I try and beat the odds. The odds are 50-50. If I'm right 66% of the time, I'm better than the odds. And I'm honest. I am honest. Maybe too honest, I would say, Peter. Probably why we are so poor. Next, then, is what would I say about this? We've covered it before. I haven't drawn a fib. I'm not going to go too far back to draw the fib. Probably going to go back to a recent high. So let's go from here to here, I would say. That's where I would draw the fib on this. Remember, fibs don't have to be drawn from the dawn of man. It doesn't have to. It just shows you the pattern within the trading of the token. So what would I say about this? First of all, actually, that needs to come down just a touch to there. So what would I say about this? First of all, this, we call it the kill zone. I'm probably not allowed to use that word on certain places, but this is the area to buy the token, which is kind of $2 to $3. We then have the bull market support band, and very much similar to Ethereum. If we hold the bull market support band, where are we going to go? Well, first of all, we would be looking at 391. That's the first target. What we are now, I can't actually see the price of this coin right now because it's all disappeared off my screen. There we go, 318. So 391 is the next target for me. Then you can see here about that level is about 445-ish. If you put the line in, hang on. If you kind of look at previous resistance next. So we've got the fib levels, but previous price resistance. The next price up for me would be 423. That's a 33% gain. Then when Bitcoin starts to go this month or next month, it's certainly going to go up towards this level up here, which is at about 515. If we look at the volume area on the right, we are coming in roughly $5. That's a 66% gain. So we've got, I mean, I'm not bearish on any coin right now, because like I said, everything floats on a rising tide. There's no point in me sitting here. If we were having this conversation in February 2026, I would be looking at that kind of action for coins, because we're in the bear market. Liquidity is leaving the market. The FOMO has gone, the hype has gone, but we aren't there yet. We are in the midst of a bull run, and already we're probably a third of the way through the bull run. So for me, Convex would be looking a 33% gain, then a 66% gain based on fib, based on previous price action, based on RSI is looking fairly healthy. Oh, no. Yeah, my mouse has decided to stop working. So for me, it's looking good for this coin. Let's get off this page because my machine is starting to hang. There we go. There we go. Okay, so we're still coming in at 62,830. Not too bad. We're still up 2.2% over the course of the last 24 hours. Well, you're going to have over $1,000 hopefully by the end of this month, because it's going to go up about 66% if you look at the charts. So that's it pretty much. We've come in at 1202, 1203. I am probably going to make a couple of videos today. One thing I forgot to mention. Mimi, thank you for becoming the latest OG. Thank you for joining up. We are going to start doing a few members only things on top of what we already do. So we're not going to start gating off content that we do. We're still going to do the same videos. We're still going to do the same daily streams, but we're just going to add in maybe an AMA with OG members, maybe once a month, maybe once every 2 weeks, depending on when people can make it. We're not going to do an AMA when people can't make it. So as far as I'm concerned, we are all good in the hood. Now, thank you to everybody for coming. Brogan, the Oracle, is streaming in 9 hours. He's going to go through the charts, go through coins that you want. 9 hours. It's already in the calendar. Go and put notifications on. And make sure you follow us everywhere. So go and find us. Go and type Crypto Warehouse in. Go and find us. Go and support us. Until tomorrow. Oh, one last thing. Can we break 64,000 and get above the bull market support band? 95% of you have said yes. 5% of you have said no. So the majority of you think we're going to break 64 today. And remember, if we do break 64, we have to hold it, because we can get rejected off 64,000. And that's being rejected by the girl that you've got a crush on in the party, and she says no, and then you walk out of the party and you're dejected and you're walking home in the rain and you're sad. That's what will happen to Bitcoin if we get rejected at 64,000. We'll be back at 60,000 before you can say I've been dumped. Anyway, take care everybody. I will see you all in the morning. And make sure to watch Brogan tonight at 9 o'clock and show him some love. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.